All right, everyone. So we're back at it once again with our girl, going in and talking about our girl. So it has been an experience. Um, so I'm actually, it's like her and I now are parallel realities. I mean, we've already established that before, but it's more so of an integration with us now internally. So, you know, I will admit that I have been a little distracted with certain things going on within my life. My son's birthday just came up, so I've been keeping tips and tracks on her. But the thing is that she's having issues with money. So the thing is, her and her friends scammed up pretty good. So they came up on quite a few dollars, but she's noticing how the money is running out very quickly. Okay. So she's panicking and she's having issues with money because she doesn't understand that she has to get rid of that karmic money. That karmic money is not going to um, help her with leaving the island. Okay. So that karmic energy is coming from that newfound friend. So, he came to her with money, with a gift, and she couldn't, I guess he's noticed that she's been a little distant, you know. So he came to her with a couple of dollars, and she wants to save that so that she can get off the island, she can get a ride off of the island, and of course, like, be able to settle somewhere on the land. But that money is not going to help her. So she's being guided to like spend and use that money, and it's like she can't understand why she's spending the money knowing that she needs the money. So she's been a little stressed out over that. Now, a lot of that ties into our guy on Makoko. Okay, Legos. Okay, he's bouncing back now. He's expanded in territory. So I'm sure that our guy is pretty loaded. I feel like he's pretty happy. I feel like he has been receiving a lot of gifts, and a lot of that has to do with the leak in her money. So the thing is that he tried to protect her, right? She accepted his protection and kept the distance, but it's kind of like without him, it's like behind his back, she takes money from what he was protecting her from. So she has to pay that back. Okay, so the money that she feels and she thinks that she's wasting is transferring a lot of good and positive energetic exchanges towards our guy. So, I kept talking to her. I kept telling her, I was like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Because at first I couldn't understand. I'm just like, well, if you know you're trying to save the money, then why do you keep spending the money? But she just kept spending it. So if you think about it, it's kind of like dad or your husband. It's just like, don't go near this person, don't accept this person, and as soon as dad or the husband leaves the home, the person comes to the home. You see, she found her karmic friend. Okay, so then she detached from him, so then he came back to her. Remember the one that I told you that did her nails. Okay, so she accepted the money. So it's just like you accepted what you were being protected from. You were being protected from it because you saw it out, and that's not where you were supposed to go. So you were being protected from that. So you followed the protection, but when the individual, when the danger comes for you, it's like you invited in. So that's unfair. That's unjust. So she did not value his protection, so she ended up having a leak within her money. It doesn't matter. Okay, and I kept asking, I'm just like, well, is she tied to me? Is she losing money because of me? Because I had been saving my money so I could do something nice for my son for his birthday. So yeah, it's been spin 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 lately, of course. Yes, check it out, honey. Yeah. So, but we're not. She's not tied to my money. It's about her and our guy. Her and Jose. Okay, so I'm just like, okay. This is why I be saying within these unions, I know that they're lacking the awareness. I feel like they sense each other, but I do believe that there is a lack of awareness of twin flames. It's like they can sense each other's presence. Depending on how aware they are of their bodies, then they will know that it's like a heart call. Because the twins, when we're in union, we merge. So we experience a lot of the same things. We can experience what's going on in our bodies. Not just in your body, but in your twin's body too. Sometimes when you're real attached to your twin, and this is what happened to me. This is my very first twin experience. I was so obsessed with the connection with this person. I was so clingy that there were times to where they would go to the bathroom and I would think that I had to go to the bathroom and I was not going to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not careful, you can mistake your energy from theirs. In this case, it's okay, obviously, because they're being watched, they're being guided, they have help, so they don't have to know. But at the same time, it would have been helpful for her to be aware, so she would have avoided taking that money and then just having to spend it really quickly anyway. She was losing out on money because at first we were connecting because I'm just like, what is, I think we still connecting though. I ain't gonna lie. It's just at certain times. Because there are certain stores that I go to and they charge me the same shit all the time. They're franchises or personally owned. So they can switch up the price at any time because they can say, oh, it's tax and this and that. When they charge you something exactly what the price is, then so when I get my pre-rolls, it's $7, right? So it's kind of like with tax, it's 142. But sometimes he'll charge me just $7. Sometimes he'll charge me 712, 721. You know what I'm saying? He usually don't charge me 742. So, with such the up and down, I noticed that. I'm just like, whoa, like she's getting scammed up. But now I'm like, I understand why she was getting scammed up because she took that money. She took that money from the karmic. So she's being guided, it's coming back. It's scamming up. But at the same time, she's being advised to just go ahead and just let it go because ain't nothing going to come from it. A lot of people really don't get into the energy of money or like the relationship with money. People don't really dive deep into money. It's more so of something in which that everybody wants, everybody has to have. But I don't know, because of this experience, it's just like, wow, I feel like I've just gotten to know money on a whole other level. you know I get excited when I see the power in things spiritually. I must admit, I must not have seen like the power of money in the spirit. But I need to see more though. I need to explore, I need to practice more. So I was just like, wow, she's teaching me. She's teaching me. Sometimes daughters, they want to practice being mom too. And if they don't have any siblings, of course they're going to practice on you, right? So when stuff like that happens, because sometimes it's just like, oh, our daughters is getting attitudes and they're trying to dominate, they're trying to take over, they're trying to be the mom. Well, step back and let them be mom for a little bit. Let them step in your shoes real quick. Because when they step out, there's going to be some type of enlightenment. And it's best for them to come to the realization versus, you playing the tug of war game of dominance. you know, let her step. Right? She got big shoes to fill. Right. So anyway, I'm just like, okay, now I believe that. So I'm just okay. So I was just explaining how I knew when I was, well, that I was connected to her financially, because it seems like, the numbers are up and down. It's not being consistent. People are just doing what they want to do. So I was just like, okay, usually, they try to give me the lowest price. They be looking out for me, but it's something else going on. So, she's getting scammed. She's getting cheated out of her money. So, I mean, but that's okay because that's not. And then she sent energetic exchanges over to our guy. So he's focused on money and finances and wealth, and she's focused on love. So her attention, it's like when she let the money shit go, she just let it go. It's like her attention shifted to love, and she actually attracted a young man. Now, I'm glad I was with her. I did a lot of walking. I don't really do too much walking, but our girl is definitely walking. So, it's like when I'm walking with her. The times that I intuitively just get the nudge or the opportunity or the push, because I don't usually walk. I will walk, I have no problem with it, but I have not been choosing to walk to the stores. I like to stay quick on my feet. People can catch up with you when you're walking. And I don't want to be walking trying to hide that I'm walking because I don't want to be bothered. So I just don't be I just I don't walk close places. But I had company, I had my sisters with me, so we're walking, and this young man comes up, and I can just smell it on him. He was just so interested in me, and I couldn't understand. I'm just like, what is going on with him? He was talking. He knew that I was older, so he was carrying himself like a mature man. He had to be like 19 years old. Now, our girl is 13. So when she met that boy, I was in the spirit, I was with her. Yes, I shooed him the fuck off. He was up to no good. He was real slippery and slimy, and he seemed like he had mother issues, but he did find something very adoring about our girl. And he got puppy eyed and puppy faced, and, you know, because I was just like, who is this young man trying to talk to me? So then finally he asked me my age. I said, I'm 37. And then he asked me and my sister which one is older. She's older. So if I'm 37 and she's older than that, then he knows, you know. So, on that platform, on that island, it's so close. Everybody is kind of, sleeping with whoever they want. They that's a whole other thing going on there, because you got people that have children by multiple people, you know, and then they have like multiple partners. I don't want her to get caught up in that. Now, I feel like this guy that she met, I feel like he's just visiting. He may be like delivering something. He may travel back and forth just to get away from where he's at, but I don't pick up that he lives there. But I do think that he stays on that island from time to time. I pick up that there's a very important woman that died. I think it's his mother. I think his mother died. He just has this like orphan thing about him. And you can see in his eyes, like he's looking for somebody to take care of him. Somebody to nurture him, we should say. It was very sweet, but she's 13 and he's 19, so no. If he would take the time out, to get to know her, as a friend, then he can find out how he can be of assistance to her. We cannot have somebody who's going to be in the way. But we got to find out what he's about. So we pushed him back a little bit. We're going to see if he's going to be consistent. But if not, because she's seen him twice. And she's curious about him. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, well, I understand. But we can't sit around and wait for somebody to save us. You don't know what type of strings are going to come with this man. You don't know him. You don't know his triggers. You don't want to take any risks that are not worth it. You want to go out on a date with him, fine, or some shit like that, or what have you, but because my thing is that I don't want her with me. I don't want her like dating. Like, I don't want to be with her dating because I don't want to be dating in my reality. I don't want to be dating. So, I mean, because our choices are connected, I'm helping guide her through her choices. I feel like I'm controlling her life, but at this time, it's not about that. And we don't have forever. We have time, but we don't have forever. So, I don't know. I'm just I'm just going to take the lead. She's been having some nightmares, some bad memories about things that have happened to her. I don't spend too much time like in her thoughts or like trying to dive deep within her, you know. I don't want to like get too connected to her, and especially now considering that we are in union with each other. You know. I don't want to do all that, you know. She has to stay focused. She absolutely does. Because it's not just her, it's her little brother too. It's possible for her. It's possible for her. So, I mean, when it comes to our guy, Jose, I mean, obviously, he been shaking and moving. He is very hard to keep up with. She's more easier for me to keep up with. He is, he must got some joy, some happiness, some inspiration. He's shaking and moving. It's hard to keep up with him. Mentally, I think that he is very focused on his responsibility. I didn't pick up that little boy. I didn't pick up on the little boy around him. So I'm guessing that he hasn't seen him in a couple of days. I think he's going to start missing him. I think he's going to start missing him. But I mean, the little boy is okay. He's out playing. That little boy, he spends like a lot of time to himself. He goes out in like private places to where he could be alone. And he just explores his imagination. I pick up that he can do something, like maybe play a flute. He can do something, like maybe like a talent or something. So he goes to that place and he dreams. He doesn't like for anyone to see him. I think he's kind of shy. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all in which that I have been picking up. I have a feeling that things are about to shift once again. But when they do and I figure out what's going on, then of course we'll get back to it. But until then, we'll talk again. Thank you.